Hey everyone, it's Wednesday morning. As you can see, the setup is a little different today. Our normal Come On Ref friend and host, Chad Bryan, is not here today. So I will be the host today, coming to you live from the sports studio. Jared Vinecourt, joined by my classmates and friends, Natalie, Max, Neal, and Nick. We're so excited to bring you another great week of sports. What are we going to talk about today, guys? A lot of different things. A lot of big things happened in hockey this past weekend. A lot of big things happened in the NBA this past weekend as well. Some signings going on in free agency in the MLB that we'll get to. And also, college football is back. It's upon us. Bowl season is upon us. We'll talk a little bit about some bowl games coming up, especially the college football playoff bowl games, the big ones. And also, what happened this past weekend in the NFL. A lot of playoff implications that took place this past weekend. A lot of different great games that we'll get to. I wanted to start off with some headlines, though. In the NBA, Pistons, they break the record for the most consecutive games lost in a row with 27. This team started 2-1. There was hope for some Detroit fans a little bit in Motor City. And now they've lost 27 in a row.
They had a lead last night, too, and they blew it.
They sacrificed a lot of games for the Lions.
So I think whenever they play next, they lost by 7, I think, on Friday. They lost by 6 last night. They'll lose by 5, and then they'll finally –
They lost to a Jazz team that had 7 missing players, bro.
They'll beat the best – whoever the best team in the NBA is.
It's got to balance out in Detroit. You can't have both the Lions and Pistons be really good at the same time. I don't know. They did sports.
Detroit can only be good for one team. That's it. They can't be good.
If they keep losing, they'll eliminate themselves from playoff contention in December or January.
Honestly,
I mean, it's just sad at this point, though. It really is because they had a lead yesterday. They had a chance. Cade Cunningham scored 38, I believe. 41. I mean, he's playing well. He's playing like an all-star caliber player. The problem is no one else on that team is. And I still can't get over the fact they gave a coach
That much money.
almost $80 million.
They wasted money.
And now fans are already kind of fed up with the coach. He's fed up with his rotation.
I don't really think it's the coach's fault, though.
I don't think it's fully the coach's fault.
Did you see the warm-up video they had after halftime? They missed every shot.
Yes, I did. Yeah, it was just like 4 misses at
And
once.
someone like ran at the glass, he threw it off, and it went off.
That was like middle school team warming up right there.
Yeah.
But the Pistons' next 4 games. This Thursday, they face the Celtics. Obviously, that's going to be 28. They face the Raptors on December 30th, and then they go to Houston on January 1st.
That could be the game.
And then they go to Utah on January 3rd as well.
Those two.
In these next 4 games, do you think in one of these 4 games the Pistons win?
They lost to Utah, so I don't think they're going to win. I think they could beat Houston.
I mean, you never know. They could just randomly pull something out. I mean, the Nets aren't a bad team, and they almost beat them. But at this rate, I'm not going to give the Pistons any wins.
I really
When do you think the streak will end? Is my question.
March 30th.
I don't know.
Like it's hard to put a date in a game on specifically that Detroit
I'd like it
end this streak.
whenever they win, I would like to be at home for the fans, for them, because they I mean,
What
They're going to storm. They're
right? They're going to storm the court. They're going to get free wings
That's
from
one
Wingstop.
thing about Detroit fans. No matter win or loss, they still show up.
I think this happened when they introduced the promo for Little
Wingstop.
Caesars Arena. When the Pacers win, you get $5 off wings.
Yeah,
So
whatever that may be, I'm not sure.
Detroit, yeah. I mean,
Detroit.
Wingstop ain't doing that much promo right now.
There's price in Detroit now.
Detroit, you got to wake up on the court, man. I don't know what you got to do. Hopefully, they get a win soon. I'm glad that the Cavs don't hold that record anymore.
yeah,
They
were tied with,
As long as the Lions win,
we're tied with the 76ers. We were, but not anymore.
No, they haven't hit. So they broke the record for longest streak in a single season. The longest streak ever still is over 2 seasons. It was the Sixers in 2015 when they lost 28 straight. So they could go 2 more to break the all-time record just in general.
That's a record you really want to have, though.
No, it's not.
And that's something that Detroit could have. We don't know.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
We ain't used to it. In Detroit.
hey, at least they got the Lions in Detroit right now. That's for sure.
But some good news for basketball fans that they can be fortunate for is Luka Doncic reaches 10,000 points, tied for the 7th fewest games to reach 10,000 points. And if you're a basketball fan and if you're a fan of the Mavericks, you got to be excited for this and what the Mavericks have been doing this season.
How old is he? 24.
You know what you can be excited for?
Good.
The owner, selling the team back, and still got all the race of the operation. That's
Yeah, and
crazy.
he's getting
That
billions
bag.
of dollars as well after
Shark
buying
Tank,
them
what do you
for
expect?
a couple $100,000.
Shark
but,
Tank.
but the Lions, or not the Lions, sorry.
We on your mind?
Yeah, I said
The
I'm just thinking about
Mavs
the
are.
Mavs right now. I mean, they're playing pretty good basketball. Luka and Kyrie, he's been out a little bit, but Luka and Kyrie have been overall a pretty good duo this season. They're playing better defense than a lot of people thought they would. That's where people really thought their weakness would be.
Right.
It was terrible last year down the stretch. I think they've kind of surprised some people this year. Them being playing solid basketball. I honestly didn't think they would be a playoff team this year.
No, not at all.
I really
They
didn't.
playoff team last year.
No, they didn't even make the
Oh, yeah,
playoffs.
you're right,
last
you're right,
year.
you're right, you're right.
That's the thing we've seen in the NBA this
They
year.
choked like the Cubs.
Yeah, that's the thing we've seen in the NBA this year. A lot of surprise teams, and the Mavs are definitely one.
Yeah, I
They was
mean,
injured at the end of the
when
year.
you have Luka Doncic on your team, you're always going to have a shot. When you have a player that damn good, I mean, Luka, he's in the MVP combo right now for
He's
sure.
like the most
always
out
in it.
of shape basketball player I ever seen.
Still gets by you. Still gets by you.
What's his name? Zion. He's the worst. Yeah, he's like
Zion's
big
money's
ass-
not guaranteed anymore. He's gonna work.
For once in his life.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, great for the Mavs, great for Luka Doncic.
50 on Christmas.
Yeah. Amazing. Want to move into our first topic though of the show. Max, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one. Connor Bedard. I mean, that Michigan goal
Bust
was
after 4
beautiful.
games.
It was beautiful. I mean, the fact that we had 2 Michigan goals in one day is amazing in its own right. But the way Connor Bedard did it, my God. I mean, the rookie sensation is living up to his hype right now.
I mean, right?
Am I wrong?
I'm not wrong. All right. I said it. He's not a bust anymore. Okay.
I mean,
But-
maybe you shouldn't have said that.
I shouldn't have said it in the
after
first place,
4
but-
games.
But I saw something yesterday. EA Sports, when they make NHL 24 and all the NHL games, they simulated his career, and he's gonna win like 5 awards of every award that he can win.
And that's not with the Blackhawks because he's their leading
And-
scorer right now.
Yeah, and it's like he's gonna win 3 cups with them. I'm like, oh my gosh! And I think he'll be 50 goals shy of the all-time record.
Well, either way, what did you think of his goal
I mean,
this past weekend?
the one season where the Michigan was popular, everyone's like, oh my God. But then when he hit it, it was like the world turned upside down.
And the way he carried it behind the goal.
No, you have to, or you're never gonna, or someone's gonna be there to.
Just to have that strength though to carry the puck like that.
It's not heavy.
I call that Brenda's baby.
And
Yeah,
then Trevor Zegers did it at the 10 o'clock game for Anaheim, and he's done it 3 times before.
It's not winning.
Yeah,
That's how he scored his first career goal, a Michigan goal.
It's amazing to see that though, two in one day,
Yeah.
and the
There's-
way Connor
one time
Bedard
there's
is
3
living
in
up
one
to his
day.
hype.
And I believe Wayne Gretzky's in the building for Connor Bedard's Michigan goal as
Might
well.
have been.
I saw an interview after, and it was like, and Wayne Gretzky, I mean, the GOAT of hockey, he's talking about this kid like he gave him so much praise in that interview. I don't remember exactly what he said, but they said
He
he's
said I could
unbelievable.
never do that.
He's like, yeah.
Well, no,
basically.
back in the day, the sticks were wood, and it was like hard.
Those weren't a thing.
Yeah, those
If you're getting
Michigan's
praise
were a
like
thing.
that though from the GOAT,
It's like
that's how you know you're legit. If you're
Like
the
NBA.
GOAT is saying
And-
that you're exceeding expectations, saying that you're such a special player, that's got to be the
And
ultimate.
Gretzky
compliment-
scored the majority of his
compliment
goals on a wraparound, so he was behind the net the whole time. But I don't think he ever thought about it.
it's a new
And
style.
plus, if he tried to do that, he would get absolutely
Oh
destroyed.
yeah, back in the 80s, if you tried to pull that off, they would just fight you.
Like,
Yeah,
like a crossover.
They would check and just
They'd go,
Just
what
blow
was
you
that?
out. But no, great for hockey getting some more awareness within Connor Bedard, and great for him in his short NHL career it has to this point, really living up to the hype.
Sure.
And like everyone's saying, could be the next Sidney Crosby. Definitely looking forward to see what he can do for the rest of this season and going forward.
I'll say this about the Blackhawks real quick. I hope they do a better job of putting a team around him
They will.
than the
I know.
Edmonton
They
Oilers
have their-
have done.
They
with
have their draft
Connor
picks
McDavid.
I don't.
They
I don't
have,
wanna
they
be
have
in year
6
9.
picks in the next 3 years.
That's
That are in
great.
the first 2
I don't want
rounds,
to be
right?
in
Yeah.
year 9, which Connor McDavid's in now, and still be like, oh, is he ever going to win anything? He's a great player, but he's never going to win. I don't want that to happen to Connor Bedard. I want to see him go down as a guy who wins a ton of cups and goes down as one of the best players in NHL.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah,
have
Chicago,
Connor
that's all I
McDavid
wanna hear.
go to the Blackhawks, and I
Maybe
mean,
they should team up.
they could.
I doubt it.
But Yeah, anyways, moving on. Wanted to get to some MLB free agency that took over this past weekend. And when we woke up, we're like, what? No way. Yamamoto signs for 12 years, $325 million with the Dodgers, joining Shohei Ohtani, his teammate from the World Baseball Classic. And, Dodgers, definitely the favorites to win in the World Series now. Definitely have a super team.
They got that bag, too.
I mean, they have a great team. No
Can't wait
doubt.
to see how much taxes they pay.
Yeah.
Again, we know in the MLB though, you can sign as many players you want. You can put together the greatest roster ever. So in the MLB, every other team that makes the playoffs still has a chance to beat you.
Right.
So it's not a guarantee that the Dodgers are going to go in and win this World Series. I mean, they last year won 100+ games. They had a high payroll last year. Obviously, not nearly as good of a team as they have right now. But guess what? The 84-win Arizona Diamondbacks came in and punched them in the mouth in the NLDS.
Hey.
They absolutely killed them.
I definitely think right now, like you said, like you're saying, Nick, they look good on paper, but they do not. They have to do it on the
They
field.
have to do it on the field. And again, they have a great roster. They're going to be a really good team for years to come, no doubt. I mean, having now Shohei, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glass, now they're re-signed for 5
Tyler
years.
Sam, the
They got
way.
an all-star
Tyler
They
Freeman.
yeah, they're top, Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman,
Yeah.
sorry.
And Mookie Betts, all locked up long term. They're going to be a really, really good team for years to come. And I think at this point they are like the evil empire of the MLB. Almost, it's not the Yankees
So
anymore.
I'll go around the room. Nick, I'll start with you. Way too early predictions. Where do you think the Dodgers finish next season? Do you think they miss the postseason? Do you think they lose in the first round? They lose in the NLCS, make the World Series? What is your prediction as of right now?
So next year, I think that this isn't going to be the best Dodgers team we see because Shohei Ohtani's not going to pitch next year as well. After
Right.
next year, he'll come back and pitch as well. So you're going to add him to a rotation in 2025 as well. So I'm going to say this year that the Dodgers, they make the NLCS and they win the NL West. They have a shot to win it all, obviously. They'll be the heavy betting favorites, but I'm going to say at least the NLCS this year. Is my prediction.
I forgot he was a pitcher for the rest of the year.
Just this year.
Neal, what about
Just
you?
this
Well,
year.
with that though, like
They're still the best roster.
they still
right
build.
now.
They building something around. Around him. You feel me? So like,
Neil, what about you? What's your prediction for the Dodgers next season?
I can see him getting the World Series.
You see them getting the World Series? You don't think they'll win though?
Anything possible.
MLB's just so unpredictable.
Max, what about you?
Diamondbacks. No. They'll win the NL West, but then I think teams, sometimes when teams are this good, they rely on someone too much.
Like LeBron with the Heat.
Well, they had Wade and
with the Cavs too.
with the Cavs, like that. I think they're going to rely on a lot of their talent too much.
They have so much of it.
They have so much, right? But they're going to. It's like all-star.
They're gonna rely on their hitters.
It's just like all-star teams.
It is all-star team.
I know, but it's just like any all-star team. They rely on one person's talent. And then when that talent, like they rely on it too much to the point where that person can't do it anymore.
But they have more than one person. They have like 6 guys.
Exactly.
You said one person.
Well, in general, I'm saying like, all right, so
So
like
you think they'll rely on Ohtani a lot this
they'll
year?
rely on him way too much.
I mean, yeah, they have a time, but they
Because
also.
Mookie Betts is transitioning from right field to second base.
Yeah, which I don't like. I don't know.
I don't like that either.
He played a good second base last year, and he still put up.
But
Mookie
still.
Betts had his best offensive season arguably last year. He came in second in MVP while playing second.
Still,
They're
you
gonna
have-
rely-
you
they're gonna
have-
rely on.
You have speed. Put him in the outfield.
Well, listen, this
They're
is
gonna rely on
baseball,
Yamamoto.
not basketball. You feel me?
They have to
That's
stay
what
healthy.
center the point
I mean,
guard.
that's where they could put Ohtani.
You can have a million.
No,
He's not putting
not-
Ohtani in the
he's not
outfield.
throwing. He's not throwing. They don't want him.
He'll be in the-
I think they'll rely on him and on Yamamoto too much to the point where they're gonna get hurt. Where Yamamoto's gonna get hurt. I think Yamamoto's gonna get hurt. I don't wish that, but it could happen.
I don't like predicting injuries on people, so I'm not.
I don't either. but-
Natalie, what about you? Where you got the
Um,
Dodgers?
I could see them winning the West. I definitely could see them winning the West. I could see them being in the World Series. I'm not going to predict if they're going to win the World Series because, like you said, baseball.
There's still moves to be made too, though.
Yeah.
Every team can
Right,
still
and
get better.
right, and then you have to take into account. Hey, by the time the World Series comes, is everyone healthy?
And then- and
Everybody-
let's
Who's still
not
available?
forget. Let's not forget. The D-backs, they re-signed Gurriel, which was a key piece for them in the
They got
playoffs.
better. They got a lot better.
Yeah. And the Giants signed Jun Lee as well.
D-backs also got Eduardo Rodriguez, 4 years, $80 million, and
Yeah.
they traded for Eugenio Suarez. And they're apparently looking for a DH as well. So the D-backs, they're going to be improved this year.
So, yeah, and that's what the D-backs need. They need more hitting. They had the starting pitching. They just didn't have the hitting last season.
And that's
So-
what
But they also did need depth after their top two guys. I mean, Fott was great in the playoffs. We saw that, but he's in the regular season wasn't great. Having him now as your number 4, I really like their rotation next year as well as their line.
I think-
I think it's going to be the same story, different year. I think the D-backs are going to give the Dodgers a fight during the regular season, but the Dodgers are going to win those games. And then when the playoff time comes, I think the Dodgers are going to choke. And I agree with Nick. I think they get to the NLCS and they lose in the NLCS.
It'll be a late season series that decides the NL
I
West.
think we could be looking at another. So in the NL East right now, it's been the Braves winning that division every year. And there's also been the Phillies who they don't do as much in the regular season, but in the playoffs they've beaten the Braves now 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
Could we be seeing a potential
that
scenario
could be the
like that with the
Diamondbacks.
Dodgers and
That could be
Diamondbacks,
the Diamondbacks.
like the Phillies and Braves in the NL East?
And I feel like with the Giants pieces they have right now,
They're not there yet.
they're not there yet.
They don't have starting
They need to do a little bit more to like
Support
have a
Logan
wild
Webb.
card team.
They need to support Logan Webb on
They've
the
got some
pitching.
solid players. They just don't have any stars on their team either. They don't have any star
Besides
power.
Lee,
I mean, we don't even know if he's going to be a star.
he's supposed to be, just like Moto.
I mean, true, but he hasn't played an MLB game yet, so you can't put that label on him just
Both of
yet.
them have him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But Yamamoto, he's what, a 3-time MVP, and
I thought Lee was,
MVP.
too.
He's a 1-time MVP.
But I don't know if you guys know, in like overseas and like Asia and everything, the baseballs are smaller.
Yeah.
So that could play
The
When it's
baseball,
too many
the
superstars
baseballs are
on
smaller
team.
in Asia.
yeah, they're a little bit
By
smaller.
how much?
Inches, but they're small. That's why like when you watch Shohei pitch and everything and Yamamoto, so the movement's so crazy.
They throw a ton of splitters over there, too, because the
Yeah.
balls are smaller. They're able to do it more, and then they come here.
Yeah, we saw it in the World Baseball Classic. They threw some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the NL West is definitely going to be interesting
The
this year.
Padres, too. Don't forget, I mean, they still have the star power.
They have this, but they didn't
show it on
They
the
didn't
field.
show it on
And the
field.
Guardians.
No.
No,
I know West,
I mean,
but-
Austin
Yeah,
Hedges
the-
might be our savior.
And the Rockies exist, too.
Yeah, the Rockies will finish last. I mean, yeah, the NL West is going to be interesting this year. Definitely some more free agent signings that we'll have to talk about up until spring training because spring training is going to be right around the corner. I mean, it's
Yeah.
coming in February, so it's going to be
Less
here
than
before we
100
know it.
days to opening day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think that baseball season is almost going to be starting again. You know,
I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember when baseball season started. I don't care when the game
I
is.
can't wait for the day off that everyone's gonna have.
right?
After opening day, everyone gets a day off.
That is stupid. I don't care.
But anyways, moving on to college football, some big things we are looking forward to seeing. Want to start off with simple. We'll get to the semifinal playoffs here in a minute, but we're going to start off with something simple. Ohio State versus Missouri. Ohio State has a lot of transfers, including Kyle McCord, who is now committed to Syracuse. As Ohio State fans, do we care about this game? Do we not care about this game with all the transfers going on, not being in the college football playoff?
I care because I get to see who we got. I mean, at quarterback, I mean, this Ryan Day said last week, this is Devin Brown's game. This is his game.
Does this game determine if he's the starter though next year?
I think it could. I mean, from what I've heard, everyone's saying that he's much better than Kyle. He
If
extends the play
Kyle, why ain't started all year?
because Kyle was sitting behind C.J. Stroud for his whole Ohio State career.
Rumors about his dad being an influence on Ryan Day as well.
Yeah.
There's rumors about
I mean, they showed a picture of McCord on the Syracuse sideline during their bowl game blowout loss, and someone put a caption on
Who do
it.
they face?
Southern Florida. They lost 38-0.
Oh wow.
They just got a new coach, though. That's why they're
And
going.
what is it? What was it? Someone said the caption was, "Sir, show me regret," and it was Kyle McCord just staring off into space.
I mean, as an Ohio State fan, I'm gonna watch this game, but am I gonna be like as excited about it as past games? No, absolutely not. I mean, if they lose, am I gonna be upset? Not really, because I think it's a game that it's like, okay, whatever. It's something to watch.
They're playing Missouri. They gotta win, bro.
Missouri's
I mean, it was great to win against an SEC opponent.
some people are disrespecting Missouri and being like, oh, Ohio State should win this.
I
Ohio
am.
State has a lot of people out. Missouri really doesn't, and Missouri has great talent. They're running back.
They almost beat Georgia.
They're running back.
They put any
Schrader's
fear
one
in
of
your
the-
heart though? When you Missouri's
They've got
trying to win.
guys. Yes.
Instead of Missouri.
And Schrader is one of the best running backs in the country. Luther Burden is an absolute stud.
I never heard of him.
I was surprised when I saw the ESPN predictions or whatever. They had Ohio State winning by 75% chance, and I'm like, really?
Dude,
I mean, are we not?
I give them like
are we
maybe
not
55.
favored? We're not favored.
I'm
No,
not giving-
We are
some
favorites.
apps I saw had Mizzou, but now it's like Ohio State minus 2.5 is what I've been seeing.
But 75% chance? No way.
Good.
55.
I mean,
Yeah.
unless they just
Yeah.
blow them out, but I
To
don't
me
see
though,
it
I mean,
happening.
Missouri has some of the they've got elite running back, elite receiver. Cook's a solid quarterback. They have an overall really good team with guys that could potentially play in the NFL one day. So I don't think that this is like if Ohio State's able to pull this game off with Devin Brown
And with all their
and
transfers
with
gone?
all the transfers out right now, in my opinion, it would build a lot of momentum going into next year. And maybe it's like if Devin Brown balls out, does that help him get the starting job next year?
Maybe on Henderson's
I mean, I guess
workload this week.
I guess it makes me more comfortable, if that
It
happens.
would definitely be good momentum going into next year.
but
Maybe
they-
a little better.
But at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay.
No, this
That's
season
like it's a
still.
preseason game.
To me, this
Yeah.
season, it doesn't change this season. This season, in my opinion, I mean, it's still a failure, in my opinion. You lost to Michigan
yeah.
a third year in a row. Your quarterback didn't do enough.
Didn't give Marv what he
Yeah,
wanted.
I mean,
That's
Marv,
right.
you kind of helped sabotage Marv from winning a potential Heisman. You didn't get him the ball enough. You just overall did not have the season that you wanted. But it would be nice just to build momentum going into next year. You have some of the young guys like Devin Brown step up. I mean, maybe we'll see more Carnell take this game as well. He's a
Maybe.
freshman that's looked like a
I
stud.
think we're gonna see.
I
Because
think
Marv's
we will.
not. There's pictures of Marv. He's
He's
not
on the
packed.
bike. He's not practicing really.
He's on-
Marv is-
I'm-
I don't think Marv's
Because he
playing this
doesn't
game.
care.
Why would you?
Why
play
would
him?
Marv
Why
practice
would-
if he's
yeah, why
gonna be
would
a
he
top
not?
5 pick?
Yeah. So I mean,
If he
hopefully,
wants to, maybe he wants to win something for his first time in Ohio State.
I mean, I just want to see the young guys ball out and give me some hope going into next year and beat a good Missouri football team. They
Yeah.
are a good team.
Anyone in the SEC you can't take lightly.
No, and they're 10-2. They almost beat Georgia. They were a good
Right.
team.
Right.
Yeah.
Another game, another team in the SEC that people are going to be keeping their eyes out for is Georgia and Florida State.
Florida State is
19 guys out.
Yeah, so
Half of them opted out.
Florida State has like you said, Max, 19 guys out. They're trying. There's a bunch of different rumors. They're trying to leave the ACC
Mhm.
conference. That they'll show up for warm-ups, but that they won't play the game.
That's what I would do.
I would personally do that as well. I would do warm-ups and then not play the game.
Yeah.
Because you got robbed, like pure robbery in the college football playoff, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
They're blaming
So-
Kirk Herbstreit, but he needs to be an analyst.
I mean,
But-
Rodemaker, who was supposed to be the backup QB, he just hit the portal too.
Yeah,
He was
they're
supposed to
starting
be
their-
the draft.
They're starting their third string.
They're on the.
Their fourth string transferred out. so-
Brock Glenn, he did start the ACC title game against Louisville and got the win, but he did not play good at all.
No.
Tate Rodemaker was supposed to be the next guy after Jordan Travis as well, and now he just hit the portal, so he's not even going to be playing in this game.
And it sucks for
But
Florida
where's
State.
Florida State going to go if they leave the ACC?
I have no
Right.
People are saying they're going to go to the Big Ten.
It's either
No,
SEC or Big
it'd be an
Ten.
odd number.
Or Big 12.
It's interesting.
I don't think they do Big 12.
It's interesting to see though, like Florida State before the season begun, they got a bunch of people from the transfer portal, and they went free agent shopping, and everything worked. The college football playoff committee didn't see it that way though. So
Well-
it's unfortunate, like we don't get to see this true matchup, because so many people are out, so many people are in the
I-
transfer portal.
I was.
We don't get to
hoping-
see a true Georgia versus
I
Florida
think
State.
if Jordan Travis said it himself, if he got injured earlier than he did, they would be in the playoff because they would have been able to show what they can do. I mean, I don't think it would have been the same without Jordan Travis.
Yeah.
It could have been different. They could have still gone undefeated, but I don't know.
I feel like Georgia should play Ohio State again for rematch from last year.
That would be nice.
That would have been a good game.
Yeah.
6-3-5.
Yeah, I've we talked
there.
about the Florida State decision weeks ago. I mean, I've said my thoughts on it. I do wish though we might I wish we would have gotten to see maybe both teams be like, okay, Pat, you left us out of the playoffs. We're gonna play
Yeah.
in this game and go in full strength. I wanted to see these two teams at full strength play against each other because I want to see maybe. I mean, obviously, no Jordan Travis, he can't play, but even with say Rodemaker and the rest of the Florida State starters, maybe we could have at least like seen, okay, Florida State could have proven, been like, oh, you should have put us in the playoffs. We just beat
Right.
Georgia.
Josh
We got all our guys.
Look at their outlook though. We're proving it for what?
I
It
get
ain't
it.
gonna
Yeah,
change
I get it. Yeah, so I get why they're doing
It's
it.
like, what's
but
the
it still
point?
would have
Yeah,
been fun
what's
to
the
see
point? It ain't gonna change the outcome.
Florida State team go into this game, be like taking it seriously and be like, yeah, we'll show you. We're
Has
going to
Bowers
Boy,
and
so
Cleary
you
there?
are gonna drop my equipment.
No,
No, I don't blame them though. I don't blame them for not playing in this game. I get it. They were done dirt. I mean,
They were done dirty.
they were definitely done dirty. I mean,
And it amazes me to think that people think that Georgia should still be in the college football playoff.
those
Georgia,
people are
Georgia loves
those
that
people are
movie.
brainwashed because
Those people are
Georgia
brainwashed,
has
yeah.
not had a good strength of schedule this year, and they
No.
barely
They
beat
had
teams.
no opponents, and they barely won.
in
games.
another year. Like we've seen teams lose their conference title and get in. Like TCU lost that game last year and got in. But that's been in years where the playoff was weaker and there were more teams with 1 or 2 losses. This year, I mean, the playoff was so strong that a undefeated Power 5 champion didn't get in the playoff. That's how
Right.
strong it was this year.
And that's why I'm thankful next year they're switching to 12 teams
Yeah.
because it has to be bigger.
Home games.
Yeah.
So if Ohio State is a high seed, they'll have home.
Just think how much more money TV networks are going to make, universities are going to make.
That
Like,
home
I
game,
don't-
they gonna
I don't-
go to bowl game, like.
I don't know why they
No,
didn't do
it'll
this
be- it will be-
earlier. I don't know why they didn't do
It
this
won't be
earlier.
The 8 what? The Final Four. How would they do that? Because I know the 6 games will just be
The Final
one-
Four will have a bye.
No.
So 5 and 12.
Well,
will
obviously
play.
that, but like, so the first round will be like just home games, and then the next round will be bowl games,
That's my guess. yes.
right? And the final game will be a championship. Yeah.
But
It'll be New Year's 6. But
speaking of bowl games in the college football playoff, we got to talk about this year's college football playoff coming up on January 1st. Michigan and Alabama, and then Washington and Texas. So I got to go around the room here. I will start with Nick and make my way this way. What game are you guys excited for the most? And what is your score prediction here? What do you think this
For both games or just the one game?
the one game you're most excited for the most?
I'm going to go with Washington and Texas. To me, these are 2 teams that are new to the college football playoff scene. Washington made it once before, but it was a while ago now.
Right.
These are 2 teams that are on the rise.
That was 2016, right?
Yep.
They got destroyed
They got killed. I think this is a better Washington team than that one was, for sure. But these are 2 teams that are really fun to watch. 2 really good quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. and Quinn Ewers. Washington is so fun to watch this year. Every time I've watched them play, I've been like, this team is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you have 2 stud
Dynamite
receivers.
back
I mean, Roma Dunze is going to be a first-round pick for sure. They've got good players on defense. Washington is a really, really, really good football team. So is Texas. Texas has talent everywhere as well. I think this is going to be a fun. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I do. I think the other game is going to the Huskies in Texas.
Oh, that's just so much Washington.
No, in the playoff. But I think Michigan Alabama is going to be more of a low-scoring defensive battle with a lot of running of the football. I think this is going to be a game where both can air it out. It's going to be so fun to watch, in my opinion. And I'm going to go with Washington 38-34.
It feels like Washington's games are always high scoring, but I definitely like that pick, Nick. I definitely think Washington and Texas is the game I'm going to be watching more. Neal, what about you? What game are you looking forward to the most?
I'm
in your
looking
score?
forward to Michigan to lose to Alabama.
I like
Down
that.
blue.
I like that.
I'm so tired.
Yeah, I will be definitely very much be happy watching that game if Michigan's losing.
They can't win a
What
bowl.
do you have for score though? In that game,
45-0. Michigan don't score.
that would be nice. That would be nice.
Go Buckeyes.
Max, what about you? What game are you looking forward to the most, and what's your score
Never thought I'd
prediction?
say this. Roll Tide. Go Bama. But I mean, I think Bama's gonna steamroll.
You think Bama's that good?
I think they got
beat
two.
They'll
Michigan?
score one. Michigan will score like 14, but then Bama will score.
I judge my games by their
35 or
coaches.
38.
You put their coaches on gloves, who will win that fight?
Saban all day.
It'll be 38-14 Alabama. They're just gonna.
You think
roll.
it's gonna be that big of a?
They're gonna roll them over.
Well,
It'll be
I mean,
closer.
Michigan's offense hasn't been that great this year.
Michigan's scared.
They got a
But-
running
but
game.
they-
That's about it.
That's how they score. So, I mean, I like the 38 Alabama, but I would think Michigan would probably get 21, 24 at least. You know?
Yeah.
That was actually my exact prediction, 21-24. I do want to see Michigan lose. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that your favorite
was
game now?
Um,
Yeah, you're looking
it's only my
forward to it?
favorite game because I do want to see roll,
I'll be-
Alabama beat them.
I'll be watching
Like,
that game, but I'll be like, come on, Bama. Come on.
right, come
The
on,
whole
Bama.
game. The
Right.
whole
My
game.
dad,
Yeah.
I've never seen my dad cheer for anybody else, and he was like yelling at the TV for TCU. He was like,
Oh my God.
But like they said, Washington I've seen a couple of games. I've been trying to get my college knowledge,
College
in college, they're trying to get that. And I looked at some highlights, with Washington and Texas. I'm like, what? Washington is pretty good. I didn't know they were that good. They were pretty,
Although
on
on the
both
West
sides of
Coast,
the
I already
ball.
catch their game sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my favorite, it would be Alabama beating Michigan 21-24. I think it's going to be kind of close just because I don't think Michigan was really going to, allow, Alabama to really kick their butt like that. Like, I don't think it's going to be huge, but if it is, that's even greater.
Yeah. I mean, we
What
never
about
know.
What about your pick?
I'm said it with Nick's pick, Washington and Texas. I'm really looking forward to that game. Like Nick said, high offensive scoring, and it's something different, something fresh.
Be a great uniform.
Who you got in the national championship?
Mhm.
There we go.
We said our national championship picks before, I think, but I definitely have Washington winning it as of now. I want them to win it. I think they can win it with their offense. But it should be interesting to see this weekend with those two games. I'm really looking forward to them, even though Ohio State's not in it.
You keep saying it up.
For some reason right now, again, I just have a fear that it's going to be like Bama winning another title. I mean, I would much rather see them than Michigan, but I'd rather see a team like Texas or Washington that hasn't won in a little while.
And who knows? We could have a rematch.
I
We go Texas Bama.
Texas
Bama.
The last time Texas was in the
where's the
title.
national championship?
I have no idea.
But
Isn't it in Houston?
I'm kind of, I don't know. I don't want to see Bama. I mean, it'd be a cool story though to see Bama after everyone wrote them off in week 2 to turn around their season and end up, they benched Jalen Milroe after that game. People were saying Saban's done, he'll never win again. I may have said something similar like that in week 2, so I'd have to eat my words. But it'd be a cool story to see them turn their season around and win a national title. But to me, it's like, Bama, you've won 7 already since you've had Nick Saban. You don't need any more.
He's the Bill
You don't need
Belichick.
any more,
He's the
man.
Bill Belichick of college
It would
football.
be fun seeing new blood win, but I just have this fear that it's like Bama's going to do it again.
We'll have to wait and see. Like I said, it's going to be exciting to watch on New Year's Day. Definitely will be tuning into both games. Want to move on to our NFL segment part of the show to wrap up today's show. First off, want to start off with, guys, what is going on in Kansas City? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the Chiefs cannot get anything going offensively as of late.
Can't catch nothing.
And they've lost 6 games, the most under Patrick Mahomes ever in his career. This Kansas City Chiefs team just looks very ugly. Like they're playing sloppy football. They're not playing smart football.
It's so hard to rebuild a team and rebuild a team.
Yeah, keep reloading. Keep reloading.
Down here, so they got to go down.
This
But they still gonna make the playoff though.
They are. This offseason, I mean, so they lose their coordinator in offense, Eric Bieniemy.
Yep. With the,
He's in Washington now. They also lost their top receiver from last year, Juju Smith-Schuster, who, I mean, he hasn't done anything on the Patriots. It's like, looking back on it, should that be that big of a loss, losing Juju? It has been, because he was at least a reliable guy who could catch the ball and get open for passes.
Yeah, he could actually catch a football.
Yeah, and he could get open underneath, Juju's a good player to do, like, the dirty work underneath.
He's a good playmaker.
Yeah, he converts the checkdowns into first downs. That's what he was good for.
And I think you would rather be with the Chiefs right now than
Yeah,
the
so I
Patriots.
do think that losing him, like, that is a big deal. Because, man, their receiving core is just brutal. I mean, it wasn't this past game, but their game against the Patriots 2 weeks ago, Darius Toney made another crucial mistake. He had a drop that led to an interception. I mean, they just have receivers making mistakes all over the board for them. Patrick Mahomes also just isn't making the right reads anymore.
It seems like he's turning the ball over too much.
He got improvising because of the offensive line and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like he's flustered out there. He's not playing the same football that he once was. He's not comfortable back there. He doesn't have the guys that he can trust as playmakers right now, because even Travis Kelce's past couple games have been down. He hasn't been putting up the same numbers, which I get because he's being double teamed a lot, because he's the only viable option. He's the only viable option that they have on offense.
Who do they face this week?
I don't know. The matter of the fact is that
They just
they're
don't.
not
Their
playing
offense
good.
is just. It's a bad offense right now. It's a bad offense.
But anything can happen.
Taylor
If they
can't
get
come
in the
anymore.
playoffs, anything can happen.
I don't
Honestly,
think it's gonna
but
turn around
yeah,
from here.
yeah, like you said, anything can happen in the playoffs.
They're gonna have to go on the road for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career. He has
And
never played a road playoff game.
I think this will be a first round exit Chiefs team. I really
What way
do.
to add to his legacy.
Because
At this point-
I think we're seeing opposite trends right now.
You see who
The,
they're
the
matched up
Chiefs
against
the,
currently?
the Chiefs are going down and the Bills are going up.
That's who they're matched up against.
Bills are
right now.
going
It's
up.
Buffalo.
And the Bills beat the Chiefs this past
I
season.
Yeah, the tiebreaker.
But I mean, again, we haven't seen Josh Allen beat Mahomes in the playoffs yet. But
Yeah.
he's done it 3 years in a row now in the regular season, so he's proven he can
It's
win
a
in it.
different atmosphere in the playoffs.
It is, but I mean,
There's something,
Arrowhead's always
in
crazy.
Josh Allen's brain that's like, hey, I don't like it here during playoff time.
But he's played good in there. Like the 2 years ago when they went to they went to overtime. The game
he got screwed in
He
that
played
one. That was
amazing.
I think
He
Josh
played
Allen-
amazing in that game.
I think all his confidence is up right now, though. He just
Yeah, he's
for like
playing good
16
ball.
yards,
He's
so.
still playing good ball. They're winning games. They're beating playoff teams.
I
I don't
feel like,
really
hey, my
think he
coach
cares
don't
how
allow
it's
me to
going.
throw the ball so we can
They didn't need
The Bills,
to.
the Bills should feel more comfortable than they did 3 weeks ago because I forgot who they're facing this upcoming week, but then they just had Miami.
Yeah.
And even if you lose to Miami, like
Still in.
you should still make the playoffs. Like
They
you need
to
one more
next
win.
week. But if you're the Bills right now, I mean, if the Bills and Chiefs matched up in the playoff game right now, I'm taking the Bills. I don't care where
Yeah.
it's at. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
this-
probably
this-
beginning right, but I'm
This-
taking
This,
the Bills.
this Chiefs,
I'm
this
taking
Chiefs
the
is doing real. This Chiefs team is doing really
Bills.
bad,
Chiefs just aren't good.
and
enough.
they're turning the ball over way too much, and they can't catch anything.
Long can get that straight before playoffs. I would take the Chiefs.
I don't know if he will. We've never seen him like this though.
We've never seen him.
It's a fluke.
I've
season.
never
It's a
seen him
fluke
yelling
season.
out like when he has to call timeout. I've never seen him yelling at the sideline.
Yeah,
Just
you never
call the
seen
play.
slammed helmets.
Did you see him cuss out all the O linemen too?
I've
Yeah.
never seen him yell at them. I've never seen him. First off, I've never seen Andy Reid smack a staffer from giving Travis Kelce his helmet.
Oh,
Did you guys see
It's
that?
Yeah.
frustrating, you feel me? Because their team is greatness, you feel me? And they're suddenly short for that, so.
They have high expectations. I
The
get it.
talk at
Yeah.
my Christmas was people. Travis Kelce's
Sometimes
going
we
to
take things
retire.
for granted and it don't work.
This
Yeah.
might
I
be
do
his
think-
final ride.
I don't think it's his final round. I do think he is. He does only have a few more years left, and they're going to have to find that next great playmaker after Travis Kelce. And Rasheed Rice has been really good for them this year. He's a really good
Yeah.
player, but they still need more on offense. They need
And
more.
he gotta
They need
go to
more.
get that bag. He gets to that home now, so.
We'll have to wait and see.
Maybe he'll come to Cleveland for his final
Oh,
season.
yeah.
Who knows?
Him and
Speaking-
Jason.
Speaking of Cleveland, we got to talk about the historic game that was taking place in Houston this past Sunday. Amari Cooper, Joe Flacco. Oh my gosh. Dynamic duo at its finest. I mean, they just went full on beast mode, and it's amazing to see what Joe Flacco has done since he's been with the Browns. 3-1, and just throwing over 200 yards at least every game. Yes, he throws interceptions, but he takes chances. He takes risks. He goes for the long ball, and it's working. And Amari Cooper loves it.
Yeah, that
I really don't count that interception at the end of the half an interception.
No, yeah, and
But-
even the
Right.
first one
So
too.
is that,
But either way, this is the best Browns football team we have seen in years.
It's
This
so
Baker
fun.
Mayfield
It's
Joe-
fun to watch.
Joe Flacco has come to the rescue for the Browns, and the city of Cleveland is loving it. And Amari Cooper is
We
having
could
a
have
fantastic
a whole
year.
playoff game.
Y'all don't give Baker Mayfield no credit.
We're
I
not
get-
talking
I
about
get
Baker
you.
right
I
now.
get
We're not.
you.
This is not a Baker Mayfield
Yeah.
episode. We can get into that
I
another time.
apologize.
But I don't know. I mean, what Flacco's doing right now it's incredible, man. And Amari Cooper as well. In 2 years, I think he might already be the best receiver in Browns history. He's now the first receiver to go back over 1,000 yards in back-to-back seasons in Browns history. He just set the franchise record for yards in a single game of 265, breaking Josh Gordon's record.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Just the Browns' offense overall, I've never seen them have an aerial passing attack like
And-
this.
and
I
it's
just
like-
never-
this is
it's
what
like
they
Joe-
wanted.
It's
Joe
so
Flacco, he has a receiver that he uses for one game. This game it was Cooper. A few weeks ago it was Njoku.
He still
So-
uses the
They're-
Joker.
they're using them
dynamic
both.
duo.
Yeah.
They're-
Yeah.
The run game,
Are
I
y'all
think the run
first?
game needs to get going a bit.
It does, no
The
doubt.
blocking
the run
is
game,
not there.
The run game definitely needs to be better.
It's definitely not the same as it was.
You can't rely on the. We can't rely on Joe Flacco to throw the ball 75 yards every play.
Yeah,
Question:
right.
When Joe Flacco, y'all first heard Flacco was getting a starting job, was y'all really happy or?
I was happy
I
because
was
I thought
nervous.
he,
I was like,
thought he
okay.
could at
I was
least-
like, yeah.
What do we got to
I was-
lose?
You're a Cowboys fan. Be
Well,
quiet.
number 4.
I was hoping that he could just like
Game.
be a steady veteran presence and manage the game for us.
Mhm.
I wasn't expecting him to turn this whole
Break
offense
records.
around and put up 300 yards.
His final
Three,
ride.
almost
Yards a
400
game.
yards.
It's his
Yeah,
final
it's the
ride.
They didn't expect
Yeah.
him to break records
I think
and do
this
this
week-
well
I
coming
think-
off the
I
Yeah.
never knew.
Final ride.
I had obviously hoped. I never knew the Browns offense was capable of this.
I
this
think
season.
tomorrow
I
night
really
is the Cedric Tillman game.
Who would have thought Geno Smith would be a starter?
Yeah, I mean, just 38-year-old Flacco, man, and it's like having a guy who, if Joe Flacco is statistically one of the best road playoff quarterbacks of all time.
We have that to start.
Yeah, we're probably going to be on the road for the majority of the playoffs. So having a guy like that who's won a Super Bowl, who's beaten big time quarterbacks in the playoffs before, it just gives me so much more confidence as a Browns fan heading into this playoff run than I had before. Because honestly, heading before Flacco was a starter, I wasn't expecting much in the playoff run. But now this has completely changed my expectation for the Browns team the rest of the season. This is a team that can really make a run. It's a team that can beat almost anyone. I think they can beat anyone in the AFC.
Yeah.
They beat the Ravens on the road in Baltimore.
I'll give you
I mean,
They haven't played Miami yet, but I mean,
that
Miami.
defense is out over there. Yeah.
Miami's a good team, no doubt. But I mean, if they can beat the Ravens, why can't they beat Miami?
I mean, they
Well,
can beat Jacksonville.
Let's be
They've proved that.
let's be honest. The Browns defense has been up and down all year.
It's been
But
the best in the league. Say top
The
two.
last few weeks,
They've been
but
up.
It was great
they
last
can't-
week.
Top 10.
yeah, because they're
All
facing
year,
Houston,
bro.
Case Keenum.
It's
But
No,
if,
hey, listen,
like if
no
they,
matter
if
who
they,
you're
if
their
they,
starting
if they
defense
face
didn't give up a touchdown last week. Their
If-
starting defense didn't give up a
if
touchdown.
they face the Dolphins in the playoffs, I think they're gonna have a problem with Mostert because they're not really good with the
The run defense is the best
Yeah,
part of their
yeah.
game.
No, they are great.
Yeah.
with the
But
run.
this
They
weekend
are.
it wasn't the
not
best.
against good teams. Not against good teams.
Not
Houston's
really.
an average
I mean,
team.
honestly, we've been more vulnerable against the pass when we didn't have guys like Denzel Ward out there. Like
Yeah.
I need Emerson
our
to get off the
defense,
penalty
our
train.
defense had a rough stretch.
Oh,
Our defense had a rough stretch against the Rams and the Broncos.
Yeah.
That game, both those games, Denzel Ward was out. Myles Garrett clearly wasn't healthy. And we were playing Mike Ford out there in the slot. We were playing guys who should not be out there
The
on
Rams
our
are
starting
going up.
defense. So, I mean, this defense the last few weeks, though, in my opinion, has looked really, really good. They played great against the Bears. Their starting defense didn't give up a touchdown against the Texans. They gave up a kick return touchdown, and the second team defense gave up 2 straight touchdowns.
You know what I need?
Davis Mills.
You know,
So this defense is good. I don't want to hear any Browns defense.
I need-
slander.
Right.
you know what I need? I need my kicker.
That
I
is
need
true.
I need
Wow.
I need my
Kicker
kicker
and
healthy.
punter got hurt in
Let's
the
be
same
game.
honest.
Gotta
So,
go, kicker. Go ahead, have that
we
kicker.
talked about this before the show. The Browns have the Jets tomorrow, and then they have the Bengals. They should win both games.
They're gonna sit. I think
kicker or no
They're
kicker.
gonna
kicker or
sit-
no kicker.
Now
They're
if
gonna
it
sit
comes down to
everybody
it,
on.
Is like
if
a-
if
we,
it comes down,
uh,
you always need Patterson to kick.
Maybe
Let me tell you, as a line
maybe
kicker,
they
Walker
maybe
anyway,
maybe
so
Cincinnati has a shot because Jake Browning has done really good. It's the season of backup quarterbacks,
TJ Walker
and
against the Bengals.
Listen, y'all think you got picked up for Patterson, he missed like
Why would
The
you
Beng-
start Joe Flacco if we can?
I think though, yeah, if they do clinch the spot this week and if they're like locked into that number 5 seed, I could see them resting guys in week 18, especially with all the injuries we've already had. I doubt Stefanski wants to get anyone hurt. I mean, we saw him pull our starters early last week.
because we were blowing them out.
We were, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Did
Coop
they put
wanted
him
to
back
go
in the
back in
game?
the game. Coop was like, can I
He
get back
sent
in
the
the game?
offense back in.
He did because the backup defense gave up 2 straight touchdown
Onside
drives and let
kick.
him right back into the
Onside
damn
kick.
game. Yeah. I mean, so I definitely think if we win this week, it's a possibility of resting the starters maybe in week 18. But I don't know. I just want them to win this week, clinch that playoff berth, so we don't have to even worry about anything after that. Just get into the playoffs by beating the Jets tomorrow night. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Browns fans, I know we're going to show out. We always do.
When's the last time Cleveland's had a primetime game?
Earlier this
A
season.
week.
Miles Garrett,
week
plus
2,
zero,
right? Or
zero,
week
zero,
3?
zero,
But that wasn't in Cleveland.
No,
that wasn't in
right.
Cleveland.
Oh, in Cleveland,
It's been a while, I think.
They had
they
Thursday-
give us prime time.
they
No,
had
no,
Thursday
last year
against
Thursday night
Broncos.
against Steelers. was a
Oh, okay.
primetime game.
Broncos too, right?
I feel like this.
That was a road.
I feel like this primetime.
Oh no, that was
game,
2
though-
years ago. That was 2 years ago. Home game.
I feel like this primetime game though has so much more meaning
does.
to it than the past primetime.
It's honestly might be one of the bigger primetime games we've had. I mean, at the time it wasn't a big game, but just the atmosphere-wise, since the last time we played the Jets on Thursday Night Football 5 years ago in Baker Mayfield's debut, where he came off the bench, led the comeback. And that was just to think about how much times have changed, because at that time we were just celebrating the fact that we won a game, because we hadn't won a game in 2 years at that point. We had lost 24 straight games or whatever it
Something
was
like
at the
that.
time.
Mhm.
Baker comes in, leads us to a victory. It was one of the most
Last
electric-
time, we faced these.
that was one of the most electric atmospheres that the Browns Stadium has had in recent years, and that was just for a damn win. With a chance to clinch a playoff berth on the line, I know it's going to be crazy. They said it's going to be a whiteout light or whiteout, something like that. Whiteout light show, something like that. It's going to be a crazy atmosphere. I hope the Browns can get it done. I think they should be able to. They're facing Trevor Siemian and the Jets. I mean,
Yeah, Trevor Siemian.
yeah.
I need, you know what I need in the playoffs? I need the white face mask.
Bro, don't try to
I
come steal
need
this
that.
up from Detroit, bro. Come on now.
Staying, staying in the
Who was
AFC
he,
North, we saw the game didn't really live up to the hype on
Brock Purdy
Christmas.
throwing it away.
Ravens and 49ers.
Mhm.
And the 49ers, God, that was
It was
ugly.
terrible.
It was ugly.
They
4
are.
turnovers.
They are.
Ravens defense was elite.
Out.
And now, after that game, Lamar Jackson is the MVP favorite.
Was
Do
he
you-
not already?
Brock Purdy was it
Purdy,
before him.
yeah.
We
Should have never been.
and they are.
With 2 weeks left in the season, I'll go around the table here. Do you think Lamar Jackson finishes as the MVP?
I think
2 weeks
yes.
left in the season.
I think yes, because it is a quarterback award. The stats aren't quite on par with some of the MVPs we've seen in recent years, but I think he is better than his stats say, because Lamar gets him all the way down the field, and they give the ball to Gus Edwards at the 1 yard line, and he just punches it in right there. So
That's
it's
their
like,
game plan.
that's their game. So, but Lamar, he gets him there. He's been having one of his best seasons. Just hasn't really shown up statistically as that, but he's been great all year long. So I think he'd be a deserving MVP. But I mean, I still think though that it would show more than ever that it's become a quarterback-only award because Christian McCaffrey is having an amazing season. He's been the best player in football this year probably, and I think if it was best player award, it would go to Christian McCaffrey. But
Yeah.
MVP, I think it ends up going to Lamar.
Neal, what about you?
I'm with you on Lamar because you say his stats been down this year because he changed the game. He's not running as much.
No, he doesn't have as many touchdowns.
He doesn't need to. He doesn't
Coaches
need
told
to.
him to get down and slide or run out of bounds, so he's saving his body so that. But yeah, the way he got this Ravens team going, the way they beat our Lions, you feel me? I give him this vote.
Mm-hmm.
Max, what about you? Do you think Lamar's still MVP 2 weeks left in the season?
Well, yes, but I think he's gonna have a little trouble this week. Just like maybe small trouble. It's Miami because Miami finally has a win against a winning team.
Yeah.
They finally know what it feels like to win against a winning team. So maybe that
Maybe that falters his MVP race a bit.
just a bit. It's not gonna be. It'll come down to where I have Lamar. Lamar will win it, but it'll be close.
Miami, they beat the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That Miami's gonna put up a fight this weekend.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting that you point that out, Max, because the number 1 and 2 seeds in the playoffs right now are facing each other with 2 weeks left in the season.
The Browns could still win the number 1 seed. That's
Mathematically, yes. But
if they would
realistically,
beat
no.
Baltimore and then they lose to Buffalo.
And rubber genie bottle, made a couple wishes.
Yeah, really. Natalie, what about you? Think Lamar Jackson's still the MVP in 2 weeks?
I'll give him his flowers. He's played really good all season, so yeah, I will give him his flowers. He'll get it. He'll get it.
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else. And like Nick said, if it was a player, like definitely Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he's been explosive.
I mean, he had a huge game
But
Monday night.
it is a quarterback award, so and I wish they would just change that one day.
It's,
You know,
it's like the Heisman of the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of agree with you and Nick. I think Lamar is going to win it, but I think it should be McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Because McCaffrey has turned more heads than Lamar has.
McCaffrey almost has as many touchdowns as Lamar has as a running back.
As a right.
Yeah, which is insane.
Lamar finally got pieces around him, though.
He does, yeah.
That's
And
the
but
thing.
Lamar's playing great football. I think he's better than his stat show. They just give because the touchdowns aren't there. It's just because Gus Edwards is a touchdown vulture.
And not only
And
that,
that's-
Baltimore is
But even
It's like Gus
49ers,
Edwards and-
even the 49ers, they have a ton of weapons too. But most of their touchdowns are to Christian McCaffrey.
Mhm.
they don't
It's
get
like-
the ball to nobody else.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
It's like Gus Edwards and Jalen Hurts are the king of the 1 yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
They just are. That's how they rack up so many of those.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see in the MVP voting. 2 weeks to go. Want to close out the show here today. I know Neal's excited for this one. I'm kind of excited for this one.
Kind of.
Detroit. But Detroit and Dallas this week facing each other Saturday Night Football in Dallas. at the end of the day, and Neal, you can jump in after me because you're a Lions fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. At the end of the day, am I excited for this game? Yes. But at the end, am I going to be upset if they lose? No, not
It's a lot on
really.
the line, though, man.
Do you want to win the division? Do you
Yeah,
care
the
enough?
division-
We already
Number one
lost.
seed.
We're already a game behind.
It don't-
So, I
but
mean, yes,
still.
the Eagles are not the typical Eagles that we see right now. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to get mad if they're a 5th seed or a 2nd
You
seed.
sound like a typical
Because
Cowboy fan right now.
They're gonna win if they're the 5th seed anyways. They're going to be facing the NFC
Tampa,
South.
probably,
But you
Tampa.
never
Tampa
know what
sucks.
happens in the playoffs.
Yes, I know.
And y'all
I know.
bad on the road.
But at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna be, as long as we don't get blown out. If we lose by like 3 or something, okay, I'm fine with that.
If we lose
Yeah.
by 1, I'm gonna be mad at that. See the difference?
But it don't matter. for
It
you.
do matter.
It don't
It's
matter.
the number 1 seed on it. It's the first playoff week by. You feel me? Home field advantage in the playoffs. Like bragging rights. Like there's a lot on the line right here.
You'll
Only thing though is
Probably
if you
this-
win either team, if they win this game, they still need the Niners to lose out of the game if they want to get
It's
the 1st seed.
possible though.
Yeah, so I mean, but it's no guarantee.
yeah, but
that
you
they're
hoping
the
way
number
too
1
much.
seed.
What you
I don't
mean?
think the Niners are gonna lose.
I hope all y'all lost this weekend. Y'all did.
Yeah, we did.
No, no,
Sucks.
literally this weekend was
Sucks.
a.
But you gotta
perfect
realize
scenario
you're
for
going
Lions fans.
you're going into Cowboy territory. You're on the road.
You ain't scared of Dallas.
You got your butt kicked against Baltimore on the road, so you're probably gonna,
What did Baltimore gonna do with y'all?
you guys don't play good
You
on the
are
road. You don't play good on the road.
Listen,
Cowboys
Dak
play
Prescott is
amazingly
not
on
Lamar
the home.
Jackson.
There we go.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, the Cowboys average 40 points a game when they're at home.
Ooh, so
You got 3 against the Ravens on the road.
what y'all wait? Did y'all just lose this weekend? What y'all lose?
We did, but we didn't score 3 points.
What y'all losing?
Miami Dolphins.
I
Like I said, I obviously
We
I'm
kings
upset
of the
they
north
lost.
over here, bro. We got to
I,
cover
like
y'all.
I said,
stadium
I'm
and
upset
put our
that
ground right.
I'm-
You know, Lions fans travel deep too.
Uh-huh.
You feel me? Half y'all stadium might be Lions fans. You feel me?
the Cowboys fans, the biggest
Nah.
fan base.
But listen, we ride. Oh, we ride deep
like
every.
like I said,
stadium.
I'm upset.
we bootleg.
It's the same thing as it was against Miami as it is this week against the Lions. Am I upset they lost? Yes. But at the end of the day, do I really care?
At this
Not really.
point, Cowboys.
That might just be me. I
If
can't
you're
speak for
not-
all
if you're
Cowboys
not
fans.
going
This is where the
to the
Lions had
division-
on the next show.
So if you're not going, so if you don't really care about the division at this point, then yeah, I kind of get at this point, Cowboys fans being in the mentality, like I can understand of like, oh, nothing matters until the playoffs. I
Right.
can understand that because that's kind of how it's been for the Cowboys for the last few
Yeah,
years.
never had
like
a-
it don't matter what seed
They
we
be
are.
so close to success, but oh,
It don't matter what seed we are because we end up losing anyways.
Cowboys fans at this point, they just want to see it get done in the playoffs. At this point, I mean,
If
So,
Detroit
I mean,
had-
it will be a great win if we do beat you, which we will. But at the end of the day,
confidence.
it's
You ain't believe that when you said
it's
it.
not gonna matter. At the
You
end of the day,
believe
it's
that
not
when you
gonna matter.
But it's
I'd
not.
rather lose to you now and then win and make it to the NFC Championship game in the playoffs.
What you like doing the cheat code in the playoffs like you always do?
No, I'm just saying.
I
I'd
will say,
rather
though,
do that. I'd rather
For
have
this
that.
game, though, I think this is going to be a really good game overall. Because honestly, though, every team in the NFC has kind of been showing some weaknesses lately. The Lions, I think, have been looking the best out of any of them, but their secondary still scares me a lot.
And
You
your
give up-
strength,
That's
your
if we put him
strength,
on the final
your
back
strength
there.
of schedule
you
is
got-
not good either.
Now since we put him on the final back there, that boy been setting
Yeah.
things off back
But,
there.
I mean, when
And
you
we
give
got
up-
CJ DJ back.
But when you
let's-
give up
Dangerous.
412 passing yards to Nick Mullins, that's concern.
He
That
has
is definitely
four
concern.
interceptions too,
But
though.
you give up 412 yards, that's a
Listen.
lot.
You're,
That's right.
the
The
reason
secondary
the reason
always
you have
has been
clinched
up
the
and down.
division is because your division sucks. No one in your division is above 500, I think.
Whoa.
Maybe Minnesota.
You know why? Because we put him in that position. We're not being.
No, because the NFC North sucks this year. That's
Oh,
the worst NFC North has been in a long time.
Because Rodgers is gone. Because Rodgers is
gone. I know what he has,
the reason.
That's what I know.
Minnesota might get a pity wild card. I mean, that's because the NFC is so down this year. Doesn't matter what division it is. It is so down this year.
I mean,
He's not wrong.
but this
Look at my back.
I hope this matchup honestly happens again in the playoffs because I think that these two teams are really good teams. Both
It
these
could be a
teams are
second
good
round
on.
matchup.
Yeah, it could be a potential divisional matchup. Both these teams, man, they have good offenses. They have good players all around their offense. But I mean, I give the Cowboys the slight edge on defense right now. But I think the Lions' offense is. I give the Lions a slight edge on offense. I give the Cowboys a slight edge on defense, just because I gave you the edge on offense. It's close there.
Well,
though.
at
It
the
is.
end of the day, the Cowboys, for them to win this game, they can't commit penalties because they committed a lot of key penalties against Miami, especially that crappy roughing the passer call that was called on Parsons against Miami. So at the end of the day, if the Cowboys want to win this game, they cannot commit key penalties.
I feel like the Lions, we need to win this game for us to have the number one seed and everything go through Detroit. Like Ford Field has been
I
louder.
just don't.
Ford Field been rocking louder than any other stadium this year. You feel me?
What seed are they? They have the 2.
We two right now.
I think Philly's ahead. They're not. They're not.
Google it.
Who's the number 1 seed?
San Fran. San Fran.
Yeah, Eagles have to be ahead.
See,
Check it.
I think so.
it's tied 11-4. They're all 3 are 11-4. It's lists Philly ahead of Detroit though. I don't know if that's true.
Wrong site. But no, but like I said, I feel like Detroit needs to get this win just because the history we have with Dallas. Y'all got us in a playoff game. Last year we played y'all. Y'all snuck out there with a win. Like, I'm tired of the Cowboys. Like, y'all's not an American team anymore, man.
We've been Americans team
No,
for 30
listen,
years.
It's a new
Longer
American.
than that, about 50 years.
Like, I'm so tired of Dallas, man. Like,
I know a lot of people are.
y'all stole our
Like,
playoff game.
y'all
That-
Lions fans are having too much hope right now.
You
You,
need
you
too
should
much
just be
hope.
thankful you won the division for the
See,
first
that's the
time.
Cowboy feeling. Y'all just, oh my
Here's the
God, we're
thing,
here.
though. I don't think they should because the NFC's wide open. Why can't it be the Lions?
When
They're
the
a
door
really
cracked,
good
we
team.
kick it in.
They have a great
It
quarterback,
can
great run
be,
game,
but
great receiver, great tight
We bite
end, great
kneecaps over
O-line.
here.
you can't get too confident.
What
Like,
you mean you can't get too confident?
this is your first time winning the division in 30 years.
So, what you mean? When you go in the fight,
You
you
can't- you
feel
can't-
confident. You ain't supposed to go in
You,
the
you
fight.
can't be like
putting it all
Browns
down.
fans a few years ago when we got Baker Mayfield. Oh, we're going to the Super Bowl. That's your mentality right now.
Wait, wait,
Oh, we
wait,
won the
wait,
division.
wait,
We're
wait,
going to the
wait,
Super
wait.
Bowl.
Our team is set up way different than the Browns, and we do have a chance to go. They came in the playoffs as a wild card team. We're gonna be hosting.
I know, but I'm saying before the playoffs
They didn't win
started.
the division then.
Yeah, I know they didn't win the division, but I'm saying like everyone thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl because of the team we had. And that's your mentality
I still
right
think
now.
the goal for the Lions this year, though, it should be win a playoff game, just because they haven't done that since '91.
That's that same old Lions. Listen
But
to
they
the
haven't
Lions
even. I feel like that's a big milestone.
Yeah,
Winning a
that's-
If I got my
that's
foot,
your goal.
if I
Win
got
a
my
playoff
first foot
game.
in the club, my whole body.
I agree. I agree. You should want more, and you shouldn't be just satisfied with that. But if you're the Lions this year, if you win a playoff game, you can't say that's a failure of a season. You're not.
I
gonna
never
win-
said that.
Okay, that's good.
But-
you can't say
We
that
waited
that's a-
30 years for this. We want it all. We don't just want a piece of the cake. We want
I
the whole
know. I
thing.
agree.
We're like,
You're going to get a
that's a-
sliver if you like.
what?
But are we gonna give predictions for this game or?
I guess so. I mean, I think 27-20 Cowboys.
I
definitely think that's not going to be all on the offense. I definitely think Goff will throw a
Darren
pick
Bland.
six.
I'm gonna go.
Definitely a pick six or a fumble recovery.
I mean, Neal, you're not gonna like this, but I do think the Cowboys win this game by a score of 28-23. But I still don't think that rules out the Lions beating them in a playoff game. Like if they come to the playoffs and if the Lions are hosting the playoff game, then I might
The
feel a
only
little different.
good thing about the Cowboys, they do go on the road and face the Lions in the playoff game, is you guys are in a dome. The Cowboys are already comfortable with that.
Bro, you know what our road record is right now? Go ahead and give you your picks. Get your picks.
Go ahead, man.
That's gonna be 28-27 Lions
Get the Lions.
because whoever the Cowboys kicker is gonna miss an extra point.
Aubrey hasn't
hasn't
missed the kick
missed
all year.
anything. What are you on right now?
Never know.
He's
It's like
nailed
announcing like
60
he never
yarders
missed a
and
kick.
they're
Oh,
good
he
from
missed that
70.
kick. Is one of
You
those.
never know.
Man's got a steel toe for a foot.
Might be the best kicker the NFL has seen. This kid's launching
Yeah,
70-yard
right,
bombs.
that's
off
Tucker.
his-
Kicker. Tucker.
Tucker's actually missed something.
But he's still the best.
Tucker's having his worst year this year.
Yeah.
Tucker's gonna call it quits, I think, soon.
Kickers can kick to the 40.
Natalie, what about you?
I love you, Neil. I'm sorry, I do gotta go with that because it's just, I don't even know how to explain it, but it's just something about the Cowboys that
When they're at home.
when they're at home,
they win.
they gonna get that win, man. And now, it's not gonna be by a lot.
They haven't lost at home.
I
Neil.
still
they
think,
haven't
though,
lost at home.
And yeah, it's just
I think
statistics.
Dallas wins this game, but I still think Detroit could be the second best team in the
They gonna give them a
NFC.
run for their
I
money.
still think
What they
they
say
might
in
be.
boxing?
I
You a
just-
puncher. When
even-
you a punch, you gotta punch his chance, right?
In the playoffs, if they play in Detroit, I will pick the Lions. I will. If they
Yeah.
play in the playoffs in Detroit.
I'm talking about right here, this
This weekend,
This
I
Saturday.
think Dallas wins this game
Dallas.
because they need it more. Dallas needs it
Hey.
more than the Lions do.
Neal, you're out.
They do because they got to win their division. They need to.
I like
earn the
being
right to-
outnumbered.
They
I
need
like
to-
being oddball.
Dallas, this game just matters more. They're coming off 2 straight losses. They got to win a game if they want any shot at their division and a shot for a home playoff game.
This is-
Dallas needs this game.
See, this is, y'all don't see, like, our defense, like, since we took Jerry Jacobs out, we've been rolling, like, turnovers, sacks,
You
everything.
still give them a lot of passing yards.
Jared Goff
That's
threw
the
for 5
thing.
touchdowns a week
Like
ago.
you almost lost
Our
to the
running,
Bears.
wait,
You almost
wait.
lost to the
We
Bears
got the
twice.
best running back duel in the league.
Agreed.
You do.
Agreed.
We deep at receiver.
That's only because we chose.
We gonna
That's
come
all
on.
You
Because
have
Chubb-
you have
because
Saint
Chubb's out.
Only because
you have Saint Brown and Laporta. That's it.
J-Mo!
Yeah, Jameis a good
Wait,
player.
J-Mo! You know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yo, and that, no, it's Sam
I don't think he's
Laporta
great.
Potty, bro. That's his name, bro.
Laporta Potty?
We be duking on everybody.
Oh,
You
my
feel me?
God.
Make it do. But anyway, like, I got the Lions winning 38-17. Stay there.
Dang.
I was actually gonna say
Because we owe y'all,
Dallas
bro.
winning 38-23.
Has Detroit even scored 30 points?
Man, you
this
better
week?
don't come at my offense like that. You know we one of the high ranked
Alright.
offenses in here, bro.
Stand up. I mean, Detroit's offense is legit as it gets. It is.
Legit.
It's
It
good.
is. It is. I didn't say it was
I just don't
bad.
trust their secondary. That's the only thing. I
No.
don't trust their secondary,
Like I said,
and I like
Go
Dallas.
watch the film, bro. These last couple games, we made a couple moves. That
412 yards to Nick Mullins is not good.
listen, it's a division game. Division games gonna be like that though.
Yeah,
Especially when the NFC North titles on the line, you don't get that.
that's what I saw. The tweet. It was like, of course, the Lions' final boss to win the division would be a backup QB throwing for 400 yards in their head. And it
Yeah.
has to be that way for the Lions.
But we didn't lose though. We didn't get a Matt Flynn though.
Yeah.
We didn't get Matt Flynn. You know?
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Definitely more exciting football to watch this weekend in the NFL with playoff season implicated, and definitely in college football as well this week. Definitely a lot of important football to watch this week. Very exciting football to watch. So we'll all be tuning into. So, want to say thank you everyone for tuning in to this week's episode of Come On Ref.
You did a great job, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube and Instagram, where you'll get all the episodes, all the latest sport updates that you need. I want to thank Natalie, Max, Neal, Nick for another great show this week. And have a great day, everyone.
Peace. Hope everyone has had a happy holidays.